Buongiorno and benvenuti to Italian Lessons with Gina. This is number 14 in a series of brief lessons aimed at teaching Italian to English speakers. Our topic for this installment is the calendar, il calendario. Here are the names of the months of the year in Italian. I mesi dell'anno. January, gennaio. February, febbraio. March, marzo. April, aprile. May, maggio. June, giugno. July, luglio. August, agosto. September, settembre. October, ottobre. November, novembre. December, dicembre. Since Italian is so closely related to Latin, it is in the Italian calendar that you can more easily see that the names of the last 4 months of the year were derived from the Latin names for the numbers 7, 8, 9, and 10, septem, octem, novem, and decem. This is because the old Roman calendar, which began in March, contained only 10 months, and September, October, November, and December were the last 4 months of the year. Note that the Italian names for the months are not typically capitalized. Here are the names of the days of the week. I giorni della settimana. Monday, lunedì. Tuesday, martedì. Wednesday, mercoledì. Thursday, giovedì. Friday, venerdì. Saturday, sabato. Sunday, domenica. The ending D on the first 5 names refers to the archaic word for day, and it must always be written with a grave accent mark over the I. And that syllable is also where the stress is placed. The week begins with Monday, as you can see in this image of a page from an Italian calendar. Note also that the Italian names for the days of the week are not typically capitalized. The first 5 Italian day names are derived from the names of Roman deities, and it is also from these same deities that the Italian names for 5 of the celestial bodies in our solar system are taken. Lunedì. Luna is the name of the Roman goddess of the moon, and it is also the Italian word for moon. Martedì, Marte, is the Italian name for Mars, both the planet and the Roman god of war. Mercoledì. Mercurio is the Italian name for Mercury, the planet, the Roman messenger god, and the metallic element. Giovedì. Jove is the Italian name for Jupiter, both the planet and the supreme Roman god. Venerdì. Venere is the Italian name for Venus, both the planet and the Roman goddess of love. In Italy, a calendar date is always set and written with the date first, followed by the month, and then the year, like so, il 25 agosto 2003. If the number begins with a vowel, such as undici or otto, then the definite article L' will be used, as in the example l'otto agosto. Usually the date is preceded by the definite article, and when writing the date there is no comma between the month and the year. Unlike English, in Italian, calendar dates are never expressed using ordinal numbers, with the sole exception of the first of the month, which is always expressed with the ordinal number. So August 1 would be said as il primo agosto, August 1st. The cardinal number uno is not used. Also keep in mind that because Italians always mention the date first, when they write a calendar date all in numbers, the first number will refer to the date, and the second number will refer to the month. So 12/5/03 must be read as May 12, 2003, or il 12 maggio 2003. Asking what is the date today can be done in 2 ways. Qual è la data oggi? The response would be oggi è and then give the date. For example, oggi è il 25. Another way is quanti ne abbiamo oggi? This means literally, how many of them, meaning days, do we have today? And the response would be, for example, ne abbiamo 25. We have 25 of them. In neither case is it considered necessary to mention the month, since it is presumed that that is already known. If someone asks, che giorno è oggi? What day is it today? As in English, the questioner usually just wants to know the day of the week. You will respond with oggi è and give the day of the week. For example, oggi è mercoledì. You have already surmised that the Italian word for today is oggi. Yesterday is ieri, and tomorrow is domani. In English, when saying that such and such a thing occurs on a given day or date, we use the preposition on in front of the day or date. On Saturday, I'm going to the movies. Our anniversary is on May 10. If you want to talk about something that happens habitually on a given day, we use on and then we pluralize the day. On Fridays, Roberto eats fish. To say these sentences in Italian, no preposition is used at all. Sabato vado al cinema. Il nostro anniversario è il 10 maggio. To convey that a certain thing happens regularly on a given day, you just use the definite article il in front of the name of the day. Il venerdì Roberto mangia il pesce. All days of the week are considered to be masculine, except for domenica. So, if something happens every Sunday, you would use the definite article la. La domenica facciamo una gita in campagna. On Sundays, we take a trip to the countryside. L'anno, the year. Before the advent of the new millennium, English speakers and Italian speakers expressed the year differently. English speakers would give a year as two numbers, 1975. Italians, on the other hand, would say the year as one number, 1975, or 1975. After 1999, English speakers and Italian speakers began saying the year the same way, as one number, 2004, 2004. At some point, I believe English speakers will start to use two numbers once again, more often than not, 2025. But Italians will continue to say the year as they have always done, as one number, 2025. If you want to say that something occurred in a given year, the articulated preposition nel, which is the preposition in combined with the definite article il, must be placed in front of the year. Sono nata nel 1975. Il secolo, the century. English speakers can refer to centuries in two ways. We can say, for example, the 1700s, or we can denote the century with an ordinal number, the 18th century. Italians will also use the ordinal number, il XVIII secolo. However, when there is a number other than 1 or 0 in the hundredths decimal place, for centuries in the second millennium, Italians will often refer to them with a 3-digit number. For example, Italians will call the century between the years 1701 and 1800 il Settecento, literally the 700. The century between the years 1501 and 1600 will be called il Cinquecento, and so on. This locution will be used often to denote art or literature from a certain century. I pittori del Seicento, the painters of the 1600s, or the 17th century. Gli scrittori del Novecento, the writers of the 1900s, or the 20th century, etc. Since there is no number except 0 in the hundredths decimal place of our current century, Italians simply call it il 2000. Centuries from the first millennium will be denoted with the ordinal number only. Example, the century between the years 501 and 600 will be called il sesto secolo, the 6th century. In English, the designation BC, before Christ, and AD, Anno Domini, frequently accompany years in historical accounts, although the designations BCE, before Common Era, and CE, Common Era, are occasionally used instead of BC and AD, respectively. The Italian equivalent of BC is AC, or AC, which stands for Avanti Cristo, before Christ, and the Italian equivalent of AD is DC, or DC, which stands for Dopo Cristo, or after Christ. Sometimes in Italian writing you will see EV, which will be used in place of DC and means Era Vulgare, or Common Era. Quando è il suo compleanno? When is your birthday? Il suo is the formal form of your in this question. The informal form would be il tuo. To answer the question, simply say il mio compleanno è, and then give the date. If I were asked that question, I would say il mio compleanno è il 21 giugno. Here are the signs of the zodiac, I segni dello zodiaco, together with the names of the seasons, le stagioni, with which they are associated in the northern hemisphere. I segni della primavera. Ariete, dal 21 marzo al 20 aprile. Toro, dal 21 aprile al 21 maggio. I gemelli, dal 22 maggio al 21 giugno. I segni dell'estate. Cancro, dal 22 giugno al 22 luglio. Leone, dal 23 luglio al 21 agosto. Vergine, dal 22 agosto al 23 settembre. I segni dell'autunno. Bilancia, dal 24 settembre al 23 ottobre. Scorpione, dal 24 ottobre al 22 novembre. Sagittario, dal 23 novembre al 22 dicembre. I segni dell'inverno. Capricorno, dal 23 dicembre al 20 gennaio. Acquario, dal 21 gennaio al 19 febbraio. I pesci, dal 20 febbraio al 20 marzo. Find your birthday and answer the question, qual è il suo segno zodiacale? Il mio segno zodiacale è I gemelli. That's all for now. Alla prossima. Ciao e studiate bene.